At the beginning of a relationship, romance feels magical. The butterflies, the late-night conversations, the constant attention, the feeling that someone finally understands you. It feels like a movie scene. But here's the uncomfortable truth many people discover later: romance can start a relationship, but emotional maturity is what keeps it alive. Without emotional maturity, even the most passionate love story slowly turns into frustration, misunderstandings, and emotional distance. So the real question is this: are you building romance or building a mature love that can actually survive real life? Romance is powerful. It creates excitement, connection, and attraction between two people. It's the sweet messages, surprise dates, compliments, flowers, and the feeling of being deeply wanted. Romance gives relationships their spark. It's the emotional fuel that makes people feel special and appreciated. But romance alone cannot carry a relationship for years. Romance is emotional excitement, while emotional maturity is emotional stability. And when life begins to test a relationship, stability becomes more important than excitement. Many relationships fail because people confuse romance with emotional maturity. They believe that as long as love feels intense, everything else will work out. But intensity is not the same as maturity. Emotional maturity is the ability to manage feelings, communicate honestly, take responsibility, and handle conflict without destroying the relationship. It's the difference between reacting and responding. It's the difference between blaming and understanding. Romance says, "I love how you make me feel." Emotional maturity says, "I care about how my actions affect you." Romance is beautiful, but emotional maturity is what makes love safe. In the early stage of a relationship, romance often comes easily. People are excited about each other, curious about each other, and willing to give their best version of themselves. During this stage, couples overlook flaws and focus on chemistry. Chemistry can feel like destiny. Two people laugh together easily, conversations flow naturally, and physical attraction feels intense. It creates the illusion that the relationship is perfect. But chemistry alone cannot solve real problems. Eventually, life introduces challenges. Stress from work, financial pressures, family responsibilities, personal insecurities, and emotional triggers begin to appear. These moments reveal something important: the emotional maturity of each partner. This is where many relationships begin to struggle. Romantic people often avoid difficult conversations because they want to keep the relationship feeling good. They fear that discussing problems will ruin the mood. But avoiding problems does not protect love. It slowly weakens it. Emotionally mature people understand that love requires honest communication, even when the conversation is uncomfortable. Romance says, "Let's not argue." Emotional maturity says, "Let's solve this together." Romance focuses on feelings in the moment. Emotional maturity focuses on the long-term health of the relationship. Another difference between romance and emotional maturity appears during conflict. In romantic relationships without maturity, arguments often become emotional battles. People raise their voices, accuse each other, bring up past mistakes, or shut down completely. Instead of solving the problem, they try to win the argument. But love is not supposed to be a competition. Emotionally mature partners understand that conflict is normal. Two different people cannot share life without disagreements. What matters is how they handle those disagreements. Emotionally mature people listen before reacting. They try to understand the other person's perspective. They apologize when they are wrong. They take responsibility instead of shifting blame. Romance may give flowers after a fight. Emotional maturity prevents the same fight from happening again. Romance can be dramatic. Emotional maturity is consistent. Another important difference is emotional regulation. Romantic love often depends on constant emotional highs. People want to feel excited, desired, and admired all the time. When those feelings fade temporarily, they start questioning the relationship. But emotional maturity understands that love has seasons. There are moments of passion, but there are also moments of quiet partnership. There are exciting times, but also routine days where nothing dramatic happens. Emotionally mature love does not panic during calm seasons. It understands that stability is not boredom. Stability is security. A relationship built only on romance may struggle when life becomes ordinary. But a relationship built on emotional maturity becomes stronger in ordinary moments. Another difference is responsibility. Romance often focuses on what a partner gives. Do they make me happy? Do they make me feel loved? Do they treat me like I deserve? These questions are valid, but emotional maturity asks a deeper question. What kind of partner am I becoming? Emotionally mature people understand that relationships are not just about receiving love. They are also about giving love responsibly. This means showing respect during disagreements. It means being honest about feelings. It means managing personal insecurities instead of projecting them onto a partner. Romance sometimes expects perfection. Emotional maturity accepts humanity. Everyone has weaknesses, fears, and emotional triggers. Mature partners learn how to support each other while still maintaining personal growth. Another important sign of emotional maturity is accountability. When mistakes happen in immature relationships, people often defend themselves aggressively. They justify hurtful behavior or shift blame to their partner. But emotional maturity says something different. I was wrong. Those three words are powerful. They show humility, responsibility, and respect for the relationship. Romance may create beautiful moments, but accountability builds trust. Trust is the foundation that keeps love alive long after the excitement fades. Emotionally mature love also respects boundaries. Romantic partners sometimes believe love means constant closeness. They expect their partner to fulfill every emotional need. When that expectation is not met, disappointment grows. But emotional maturity understands that healthy relationships require space. Two individuals must still have personal identity, friendships, goals, and personal growth outside the relationship. A mature partner supports independence instead of controlling it. Romance says, "Stay with me all the time." Emotional maturity says, "Grow, and I will grow with you." Control is not love. Support is love. Another difference is emotional security. Romantic relationships sometimes become fueled by insecurity. One partner constantly seeks reassurance. They worry about losing the other person and react with jealousy, suspicion, or emotional testing. But emotional maturity builds trust instead of suspicion. Secure love does not constantly test loyalty. It communicates openly and builds confidence through consistent behavior. Emotionally mature partners do not punish each other with silent treatment or emotional manipulation. Instead, they address issues directly and respectfully. Romance may create excitement through emotional intensity. Emotional maturity creates peace through emotional safety. Peace may seem less dramatic than passion, but it is far more sustainable. Over time, emotionally mature love begins to feel different from early romance. It may look quieter on the surface, but it becomes deeper internally. There is respect in conversations. There is patience during misunderstandings. There is forgiveness after mistakes. There is support during difficult seasons. Emotionally mature love becomes a partnership instead of a performance. People stop trying to impress each other and start building life together. They become teammates instead of emotional competitors. And that is where real intimacy grows. True intimacy is not just physical closeness. It is emotional safety. It is the ability to be honest without fear of rejection. It is the comfort of knowing that disagreements will not destroy the relationship. It is the confidence that both partners are committed to growth. Romance can open the door to love, but emotional maturity is what keeps that door open for a lifetime. The strongest relationships are not those with the most romance. They are the ones with the most emotional responsibility. Two people who choose patience over pride. Two people who choose communication over silence. Two people who choose growth over ego. When romance and emotional maturity exist together, relationships become powerful. Romance keeps love warm. Emotional maturity keeps love stable. Romance creates the spark. Emotional maturity protects the flame. Without romance, relationships may feel dull. But without emotional maturity, relationships eventually collapse under pressure. The healthiest love balances both. It celebrates affection while practicing responsibility. It enjoys passion while protecting respect. It creates joy while building emotional safety. And that is the kind of love that survives not just the beautiful moments, but also the difficult ones. Because real love is not measured by how exciting the beginning was. It is measured by how strong the partnership becomes over time.
Please don't.